This is ABC15 Mornings.
Nearly $500 billion. Lawmakers working to pass another bill to stimulate the economy. Money going to small businesses, healthcare providers, and more coronavirus testing.
And will it be next month, June, possibly September? Today, the governor could announce the game plan to reopen Arizona. So we are going to take a look at the three things that could happen today.
Both sides of the issue, we all don't agree on how long these stay-at-home orders should last, but we should agree that everyone's voices should be heard on this. It's a complicated topic, of course, but one we are going to dive deeper into throughout the morning. And on that note, we say good morning to you, 6 o'clock right now. Thanks for waking up to ABC 15 Mornings. I'm Nick Soletti here in studio. Kaylee O'Kelly, social distancing from home this morning. Hey, Kaylee.
Good morning. The doors are open with the cool air that we are all enjoying here in the valley for now. So we want to check in with our meteorologist, Iris Rocio, for a look at these changes coming our way. It's toasty.
Yeah, smart move to open up the windows and enjoy that fresh air while you can, because today is going to bring the first 90+ degree temperatures of the year so far. So certainly getting much warmer. Yesterday, we topped out at that forecast high of 83. Today will be 10 degrees warmer as we warm up to 93 degrees. It'll be warm, it'll be breezy, it'll be sunny and dry. So keep this in mind. Temperatures are going to climb faster than they have each day throughout the year so far. So be mindful of that as you're making outdoor activity plans. Get them done earlier. Make sure that you're hydrating throughout the day. You can expect that we're going to be back into the mid 80s, already beating yesterday's high temperature by lunchtime. And then we'll hit those 90s by around 3 o'clock with a high today of 93 degrees in Phoenix. So warmer today, and that temperature is just going to keep climbing. We'll talk about which days could be record setting and when the hundreds will set in that 7-day forecast.
Iris, thank you. Just breaking this morning, an Amber Alert issued. In fact, you may have heard it in your cell phone as it went off just a few minutes ago. This one out of Chandler. Police are looking for these 3 children, and officers are saying that they were taken by their father around midnight. They are calling him a, quote, credible threat to these kids. He is believed to be driving a gray Nissan Pathfinder SUV with an Arizona license plate of CHT5393. Our Nohelani Graf is heading to the police station as we speak to get you more information, and we will get a live report from her within the hour.
Let's get to the latest now on the coronavirus and our numbers here in Arizona. It shows that there is an increasing loss of life here. 21 people dying in the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of Arizonans who have died to more than 200. The number of confirmed cases now more than 5,000 across the state. This morning, we're finding out that 13 of those coronavirus deaths happened at an assisted living facility in the East Valley. John Genovese is live in Chandler. John, this outbreak is having a huge impact on the people who live there and also their caretakers.
Their caretakers and their families. Nick, we are just outside of Pennington Gardens Assisted Living here in Chandler. This is near Pecos and Dobson Roads, and we are finding out about this deadly cluster of cases. So far, as you mentioned, we know 13 residents have died due to complications from COVID-19. In all, 28 residents and 9 employees have tested positive. Now, 14 residents remain in quarantine here, and we know at least 1 now is hospitalized. We were actually here last night as an ambulance picked up another patient. The facility right now accounting for 28% of Maricopa County's assisted living facility deaths. And one woman says she pulled out her mom last week. She's happy her mom is safe at home, but is devastated to hear of the deaths on a now near daily basis.
My mom spent time with them every day, and I just don't think any one of them should have died or gotten sick. And I would like to know from the county and the state what happened.
Now, Pennington Gardens parent company Compass Living telling us in a statement that they've ramped up PPE use, cleaning, and testing. They pointed out that 74 other assisted living facilities in Maricopa County have at least 1 case, but at last check, 90% of those facilities had 1 or fewer deaths. So guys, this is certainly an outlier. A lot of questions still about what led to the outbreak at this facility. You can bet that both county and state workers will be out here trying to figure that out, but simply put, so tragic again for all the families of residents here, guys.
Yeah, John, we know those families especially concerned right now. Thank you for that update. 6:04 now. Today, Governor Doug Ducey is expected to hold a news conference. It'll be his first one since President Donald Trump announced guidelines for states to reopen. Arizona's stay-at-home order expires in just 8 days, and the governor's office says that there are 3 things that can happen. First, the order can expire. It could be extended or modified. ABC 15 analyst Wendy Smith-Reeve, the state's former emergency management director, weighing in for us.
I think it's important, that as we can share information, to share that information exudes confidence in the public for our elected and appointed leaders.
The governor's office says reopening the economy will be based on data from the next week, as well as guidance from public health officials.
Another stimulus bill is making its way through Congress, this one worth $480 billion, and most of it is to help small business owners. Here's ABC's Alex Prochet.
Good morning. Right now, there are 2 key questions. First, will the small businesses that need this aid get it in time? And second, are we sure that this money is going to the companies it's supposed to help? On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are hopeful a $484 billion stimulus bill will help small business owners, roughly $383 billion of it earmarked for small business programs, including the Paycheck Protection Program, which drew criticism after an Associated Press investigation reported at least 75 companies helped by the previous relief plan are so big they're publicly traded. The Trump administration says it will ask for that money back.
Obviously, Shake Shack was not alone in being a big company that got money in this. Are you going to be asking a request?
Another $75 billion for healthcare providers and $25 billion for coronavirus testing, something critical to the president's reopening guidelines. Illinois' governor says it could now be mid-May before cases peak in his state. Chicago's mayor says stay-at-home orders could extend into June. But in South Carolina, restrictions have been lifted at beaches, crowds flocking in, and Georgia's governor preparing to open gyms, bowling alleys, even barbershops by the end of the week. Now, neither Georgia nor South Carolina has reported a steady 2-week decline in COVID-19 cases, which was a part of those White House guidelines. The worry there being that if they reopen, it could bring about a surge in COVID cases. Alex Prochet, ABC News, Washington.
Well, if you are waiting for a paper stimulus check, the Treasury Department says about 70 million are in the mail. 80 million Americans already have their money, and it's all thanks to direct deposit, of course. But if you have not received your check yet, you're waiting for it, you need to check the IRS website to see if your banking information is correct. Well, some major healthcare providers here in the Valley are cutting pay, even furloughing employees, despite how busy our hospitals are right now with this pandemic. Dignity, Banner, and Mayo Clinic all confirming to ABC 15 their plans to reduce employee salary expenses. Other medical providers say they too are going to be making some cutbacks.
When we watch major players in healthcare, like Mayo Clinic, announce pay cuts until the end of the year, that tells us that the major people that have much larger teams to analyze and figure this out have determined that this economic downturn will be long-lasting.
Well, the hospital administrators we talked to say they lost revenue from canceling all the elective surgeries.
The FDA approving the first at-home coronavirus test. The emergency use authorization is allowing people to do their own nasal swabs. You would then send the kit back to LabCorp for results. The test kits will initially be offered to healthcare workers and first responders. LabCorp is hoping to make the test more widely available sometime soon. A Valley ICU nurse not backing down as demonstrators call for the governor to reopen Arizona. This image now going viral. That nurse, Lauren Leander, is a critical care nurse in one of the coronavirus units at Banner Health. She tells us that she wanted to represent those who need the most protection.
Be a voice for our patients and the immunocompromised and those of the people that are sick with COVID that would be out there fighting with us if they could, just asking people to follow the stay-at-home rules.
Leander tells ABC 15 she wants people to know that despite their beliefs, nurses would take care of protesters if they needed care. She hopes the attention from yesterday's events can help people come together. Well, next on ABC 15 Mornings, anxiety, fear, and anger. We are under a lot of stress, and mental health experts say the longer this pandemic lasts, the more divided we could become as a country.
And how about this? Throwing out the rules. In many ways, it just sounds so good, right? Kids are now getting more screen time than ever before. You're going to hear why child behavior experts say, with so many changes happening, it's okay. Give yourself a break.
We are staying on top of breaking news right now. An Amber Alert was just issued about 15 minutes ago as Chandler police continue looking for these 3 children, they say taken by their father. He's been identified as 36-year-old Stephen Charles and is considered to be a credible threat to these kids. They range in ages from 8, 6, and 2. They're believed to be in a gray Nissan Pathfinder SUV, Arizona license plates CHT 5393. We are expecting a news briefing from Chandler Police in the near future here, probably the next hour or so. When that happens, we will bring that to you live. In the meantime, please keep your eyes peeled for these kids.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
And it is time for your Desert Drive Time. Traffic sponsored by Accident Law Group. This is a live look at our ADOT cameras. This is the I-17 southbound at Thomas. We saw all that back up about a half hour ago. It's still lingering right now. We're told there was a motorcycle crash here in those southbound lanes right by the Thomas exit. That right lane is going to be blocked for some time now as they work to clean this out. We're told that there are some delays all the way back to at least the Camelback exit. We will continue to stay on top of this and work to get an update on the condition of that motorcycle rider. In the meantime, let's talk about that most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Iris Hermosillo is standing by live right now on this hump day with a look at a steamy forecast. Iris.
Oh, get ready for it. It is heading our way, and that heat is coming in fast. Now, this morning, I will tell you, it's a gorgeous morning. The reflection I just noticed off of my monitor. I opened up the window, just get some fresh air. The cat sitting on the windowsill, enjoying it as well. So enjoy it as best as you can. We've had a gorgeous sunrise so far with those clear conditions across the valley, and temperatures are feeling pretty good still across the state. Just a little bit cool in the valley, down to 63 degrees with plenty of 50s out there too. This is going to be the pleasant time before those temperatures start to heat up. So I can't stress enough, if you want to get outside for maybe a more strenuous outdoor activity, then do it sooner rather than later. 66 degrees at Lake Havasu right now. It's 42 in Kingman. Sedona, you're waking up to a nice and cool 48 degrees, 45 in Payson, and Flagstaff dropping below freezing now as of the top of the hour at 29 degrees. I don't think we're going to be below freezing very long now that the sun is up. Our temperatures will begin to climb pretty quickly across the state. 59 right now in Glendale, 60 in Tempe, mid-50s in Gilbert and in Queen Creek. As you look at today's forecast, just keep this in mind. Again, our warm-up will be fast, so we're in the low 60s now. Our sun has already come up. We'll be warming into the 90s this afternoon. If you want to do a sunset run instead, it'll be out of the 90s by then, by around 7 o'clock, with temperatures in the upper 80s by then. Temperatures as we go through the day today, expect mid-70s by 10 o'clock, mid-80s by lunchtime, and then upper 80s by 2 o'clock. We'll likely see those first 90s by around 3 o'clock, then a high today of 93 degrees. You can expect more breezes too, both in the valley and across the state. Those winds gusting near about 20 to 25 miles an hour in the valley and across Arizona. Highs today in the low 90s in most valley cities, with the exception of spots like the Santan Valley, Cave Creek, Apache Junction, where we're going to reach the upper 80s today, but 92 for Tempe, 93 in Laveen. As you look at those temperatures across the state, we're heading up to 93 at Lake Havasu City, 73 today in Prescott, 77 in Sedona, and then 75 today in spots like Payson. Today, 10 degrees warmer than yesterday, and we're going to keep warming, upper 90s for tomorrow, and by Friday, we're talking a forecast high of 99 degrees. This weekend, the first triple-digit days of the year, they're here. On Saturday, could hit 100 degrees, the first hundreds of the year. Then by Sunday, we're going to be on record watch. The forecast for Sunday, 102 degrees. The record at this point stands at 101, set back in 1992. So it's about to get hot. I think we can start using that H word once we get above those triple digits, right? And we're going to keep saying hot as we go into next week too, because temperatures will be into the low 100s through most of next week and not far from the record each afternoon.
All right, well, we can't say that you didn't warn us. We appreciate it, Iris. Thank you. You know, groups across the country, including right here in Arizona, have started some pushback against these stay-at-home orders and restrictions. And mental health experts are warning that these demonstrations could end up dividing our community even more so. Protesters want to reopen the economy and shut down stay-at-home orders.
I think we need to band together as Americans and ask that our voice be heard. And this is the only way we can do it, and it's our right to do it.
We've seen protests circle state capitals, including ours, calling quarantine measures too extreme.
We need to bring awareness to the fact that there are more people hurting than the people that are infected right now with COVID that have symptoms.
Mental health experts say we are all under a lot of stress.
Anxiety, the fear, the uncertainty.
Dr. Anna Ropp is a psychology professor, and she says with groups like these defying government guidelines, there are a variety of motivations. Some are invested in the message. Others get caught up in the need for a group to identify with.
Thinking in terms of we instead of in terms of I can be very powerful. We're not doing well individually. Our groups can give us a little bit of a bump to say, oh, well, this is the group we're a part of, and we're great.
For us to be, labeled, oh, you're a group thinker, that makes no sense at all.
Some protesters are committed to their cause, while others see different groups bonded by different values, all struggling to express their emotions.
We're scared of having conversations. We're scared of talking about stuff.
And despite differences, the experts certainly say, and we've heard it over and over again, we are all in this together. But they also go on to say the conversations that are desperately needed are ones in which we all, every single side, needs to be heard. It's all about tolerance, Nick.
Well, the University of Arizona wants to help you take care of your mental health with Wellness Wednesdays. The school is offering free 30-minute lunchtime webinars on different topics focusing on improving your physical and mental health. Today's session is called Shift to Optimistic Thinking Through Art. You can watch it starting at noon. Registration is required.
Okay, so parents, as you all know, trying to navigate through this fog on many days of trying to keep our kids educated and entertained. It can be really tough as they're doing homeschool right now. It can be stressful as well trying to balance the screen time. But health experts want you to know that you can be relieved at least a little bit. You don't need to exhaust yourself trying to come up with ways to keep the family entertained all the time.
We have our typical limits and we should try and enforce those, but it's also important to be kind to yourself. And we need to be creative about what are we going to do instead. Listening to audiobooks, cleaning out a closet, putting together old puzzles, looking through photo albums, just being creative and engaging activities that are not based on screens.
And I got to tell you, could sure use some ideas. So if you would be so kind as to take pictures as to what you guys are doing at home and then share them. Share at ABC15.com. It's important to recognize that it takes time for everyone to adjust to all this time at home together. And a reminder here, it can help when we all practice a little bit of patience. Got to practice what we preach, though.
Yeah, good reminder. Hey, at Valley Diner going above and beyond during the pandemic to take action for people battling cancer. We will introduce you to them next.
I'm Justin Pizzera. It will happen. Arizona will rebuild from the impacts of the coronavirus. And as part of the rebound, restaurants are opening their kitchens, serving the community. In today's We're Open Arizona, we're talking about the Joy Bus Diner in Phoenix. They use money they make to deliver meals to homebound cancer patients every single week. As our Allison Rodriguez shows us, while they've shut their physical doors near the 51 and Shea, their determination to serve up food and friendship is not slowing down.
The roots of the Joy Bus Diner stretch back nearly a decade.
Late 2011, when my friend Joy became ill with ovarian cancer, I started bringing her food and just trying to stoke her out with rad little treats because it was the only thing I knew how to do to make her happy.
That's founder Jennifer Caraway. From that experience grew the idea to help more people like Joy.
What we do is we provide chef-inspired meals free of charge to homebound cancer patients, coupled with an amazing volunteer who's extremely compassionate and cares and just wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves.
Carol Patron Welch is one of those volunteers.
To be able to go and just provide some friendship for them, a face other than a physician or a nurse, because so many are homebound.
Jennifer opened the doors of the Joy Bus Diner in 2016 to help fund the delivery program.
But in the diner, it's more of a comfort, happy food, like biscuits and gravy. Our Reuben is absolutely amazing. So I would say that our most popular item in-house is the chicken and a biscuit sandwich.
She made the tough decision to close the doors to the public for now amid the coronavirus pandemic, but she's keeping the program going. Every Wednesday, she and other volunteers put together the organic meals to the almost 50 patients on their list. But of course, social distancing has changed the way they deliver them.
They have to drop the bag, sanitize the handle once again, go back to their car and call the patient to pick up the bag. We can have zero interaction with the patient during this process.
All while trying to let them know a friend is still out there.
A lot of our volunteers, who are just incredible people, they do still from afar talk to them. Do you need anything? Is there anything we can do for you?
They're relying solely on fundraising and food donations right now, and Jennifer's determination is more clear now than ever before.
It's extremely important to keep this going. I mean, we've been doing this for almost 9 years. There's people that depend on us to show up at their home every week with rad food and rad humans to help make it happen. This is our mission.
Reporting in Phoenix for We're Open, Arizona, I'm Allison Rodriguez.
And if you can and you would like to donate to help keep that program going, you can visit joybusdiner.com. And if you know a restaurant fighting to stay open or helping the community, let us share their story. You can nominate them on our website or email us at openandaz@abc15.com.
Well, next at 6:30, could we be in for a second and more dangerous wave of the coronavirus? What health experts are saying this morning and when it could happen.
I'm Nohelani Graff tracking breaking news. 3 Chandler kids believed to be in danger, and now police triggering an Amber Alert. What we know coming up.